It's now time for a special broadcast of For Real Talk Live. Real situations, real conversations for real people about God, life, love, family, and more with your hosts, relationship experts, the Seymours.
And now, the Queen of Love and her one and only gentleman, the Seymours.
For real talk, for real talk.
Is your marriage is your ministry.
Yes.
Your relationship is your ministry. So in a marriage, we have to focus on our ministry of the marriage, that we can keep the marriage together. So, Evlis, would you like to say something?
Oh, I just like where you are, Dr. Seymour. I'm talking about we had a birthday that was, I like what you said, it was off the grid.
Yeah, it was off the grid.
And that explains it all. That's a whole lot. When you can come off the grid, then you already know. So it was extravagant. I wouldn't have it no other way. I wouldn't have it with no other person. We've been talking about from Valentine's Day to keep it alive, keep it interesting. Just don't put so much effort and so much energy into Valentine's Day. That got to be every day, every week, every weekend. Because you got to keep your marriage in the air. You got to keep it juggling. You got to keep it alive. So I'm just excited.
And you know, the other week I was talking about there are 7 keys of a successful marriage. There are 7 keys to a successful relationship. And one of the things that I'd like to share on Relationship Monday is Christ as the center. Make sure that we keep Christ the center of our relationship, the center of our marriage, that we can keep a healthy relationship, and that we can keep a healthy marriage, Elvis. I think that is so prevalent at this hour, because a lot of times Christ is taken out of it, you know, and so we've got to keep him in it. And the second thing that is so needed in this time is a mutual edification.
Yes.
You have got to know how to edify and build up each other in your marriage and in your relationship. I'm talking about it is priority to realize that this is my life mate, this is my soul mate. Yes. We're going to do this together financially, sexually, spiritually. We're going to do this together. Yes. And so since we've made up our minds to do this together, we have to keep each other edified at all times. I encourage Evlis as much as Elvis encourages me.
Yes.
And so, and Elvis is my still water. You know, Evlis is my still water, but I am his pot liquor cooler too now. Sure and you got to understand that. So, but we've got to stick with the successful things to keep our marriage going. It's not one side about me being happy all the time and he being sad all the time and he always satisfied me. No, we have to have a mutual edification in the marriage. And then we have to accept each other's compliments.
Yes.
You know, and Elvis, I told my son, Apostle Powell, when he sees me, I don't care where he sees me, my children, they always kiss me on the cheek and tell me how beautiful I am, how much they love me. And I never realized that I was telling them. Elvis told me one time, he said, I told them, I said, but Elvis tells me that all the time.
Yes.
You know, every morning, every day, I'm going to hear from Elvis how beautiful I am, how my cheeks is, how soft my skin is. But so that he keeps me, he compliments me all the time. So I want to thank God for that too. Ever say something about that?
No, that is just awesome.
Don't be looking at my body. Look at the camera. Look at the cameras. Look at the camera. Keep him on the camera.
There you go. There you go. It is so wonderful, Dr. Seymour. And being a friend is so much more one of the most important thing in a relationship. We was just having this conversation, and I was explaining to you, I was speaking to you from the pastor's perspective, from you being my pastor, and the way that you have taught and break the Bible down and reveal those revelations, all that have really edified me and take me to a whole next era, a whole next
state of maturity, though, Evlis. Yeah.
State of mind of even with my family, even with just understanding the generational things. It really opens my mind and let me understand person so much more, even understanding you yourself much more, but even understand my family and where I came from and where I pick up the traits from. Just having a pastor, so that's why you say Christ has to be the center.
He has to be the center.
He has to be the center.
He has to be the center.
After the fun and on the joke and all of that, we have to come back to the basic of Christ being the center. And when we can have those conversations of even if the man is the pastor, you know, but the pastor is still leading you. So sometimes we got to break away from just the wife and husband conversation, have a Christ conversation.
Yeah.
You know, make your husband or your wife know, look, man, you as my pastor, you're really teaching me something. I've really learned this from you, and we have those conversations.
So that's talking about the fourth part of the 7 keys to a successful marriage, and that is willing to change.
Yes.
You know, the husband or the wife or both have to be willing to compromise or willing to change. If you see yourself in that marriage, if you see that could be your soulmate or your life mate, then you are more than willing to change to complement him or her. And what happens is, most of the time, the largest and the greatest arguments is because nobody is, the other party is not willing to change or compromise.
Yes.
And we have to be willing to change to keep our relationship where it is at a good point. At a good point, Evlis.
That's so awesome. One of the most amazing thing happened. That was like a miracle for me this weekend, because my mom came to spend Mother's Day with us, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. No, we haven't seen her since the wedding.
9 years
Since
we
our
got
wedding.
married. Yes.
You know, so when you decide to give your life to Christ, you will believe that, my God, everybody is going to be, oh my God, that is great. But that's when all the attacks start.
That's when
I'm in the world and I'm partying and I'm having fun and we ain't got no problem. I decided, okay, I'm going to be married to an apostle. No, my life have to change, a pastor, you know. No, I'm saved. You think that, okay, but the attacks comes right then. And the Bible said, to whom much is given,
Go ahead.
much is
Oh,
required.
you're turning me on. There you go. Oh, I'm having a moment. I'm having one of those moments. Evans, you better stop. Let me feel. Let me see. You got a little few furrows up there. So. Wow.
You know, so it's amazing, all those, when you decide to really slow down, and that's where patience comes in.
That's when you accept and you compliment.
Yes, yes. And I had to have so much patience, and God brought this thing back together so great that it was an amazing weekend. And she just, all the stuff that she was saying to me when she came here, it automatically changes her mind. Like, man, you know what? I was the one wrong. From what I was thinking, people can think about something, a perspective or something, until when you actually see it, you'll be like, oh no. What I was telling you couldn't even think about doing that. And that was so amazing just to hear her say that. So it really made my week and my weekend, and the birthday was special, and miracles was just happening in the middle of that.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
I want to say this. I was so close to my stepmom before my dad passed.
Yes.
And in the wedding, so much happened at that wedding.
Yes.
She was supposed to come and bless us. When she came, it was the flip side. When she saw that who my wife was and she couldn't bring the support of who she was, and it was just a flip side of that. But 9 years later, it seemed like it was never going to happen. 9 years later, the real mother came
Yes.
and blessed the
Wow.
way that she was supposed to.
Yes, yes.
So it's amazing the way God works.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to just wait on time.
No,
It,
says Dr.
Seymour. And I was in a haste going nowhere. She slowed me down. She said, Negro, slow your behind down. I'm sorry.
You all right?
But
Because it
I
happened.
really was, because I'm drive, I'm motivated, my passion and my ambition is on a whole, and she had to, Sometimes you have to have the drive and the ambition and the passion, but sometimes you got to take a step back
Yes.
and watch God. Because now you're operating in the supernatural. I'm used to operating in my own strength.
Yes,
I've run my own
yes,
business.
yes.
I've opened business after business after
Yes,
business.
yes.
I know what to do. I love business. So I was just ready to go. And she said, no, there's a principle over here that's got to be worked. What are you talking about, Dr. Seymour? There's a principle. It's called sowing and reaping.
Yes.
And I'm saying, my God, okay, I ain't got no problem with sowing. But she said, no, in the sowing, the supernatural take place.
Yes, yes.
So everything that you was doing in your strength, that you've been successful in business, I'm going to teach you an strategy. Now I'm talking about your pastor. See, I have to know when to separate the pastor from my wife.
Yes.
No, my pastor is teaching me, look, there's a principle. There's the people of God, the person of God, and then there's the principle of God. The Spirit of God, the person of God. The Spirit of God, speaking in tongues. The person of God, the different personalities preaching to us. The principle of God is know what we have to work. The principle is sowing and reaping. Now in that sowing, the supernatural take place. And I'm telling you, ain't nothing beats sowing. Oh my God. She lived a life in front of me of sowing for real. It's sowing in the time when you look like, no, we got to take care of this. No,
Yeah.
we going to sow. You know, that was a little bit new for me now. You know, I'm looking at this money right over here. You know, she said, no, this is what we got to do. We're going to sow. Because we operate in the supernatural. We live in the supernatural realm. Everything that happened for us, it don't happen naturally. Because we over in the kingdom. We operating in the kingdom arena. So we operate in the supernatural arena. So everything we see that's tangible around us, the cars, the house, the church, no, that's just for you to see so you can believe. But we operate strictly in the supernatural. So sowing and reaping, and then God does do the rest. I'm telling you, it is amazing. When you can really, really believe in the principle of God and have expectation. Just don't sow. No, you're sowing and believing with a great expectation that this thing is going to happen. I'm going to fly this jet. I'm going to fly this helicopter. I'm telling you, I'm going to have the cigarette boat. That's just how I believe.
What's the cigarette boat? Now, wait, you might be moving too fast.
See, I believe.
No, but we ain't gonna have no cigarette boat.
That's all right.
Slow down. Throw that back out there. No.
Talk to us, Dr. Seymour.
Yeah. But what you're doing now is maintaining good communication.
Yes.
And that's number 5. And then number 6 is creating romance.
Yes.
So you see what you're doing now. Whatever has been wounded is being healed.
Yes.
Because you're creating romance. And from the romance, you're not getting no sexual healing tonight.
I'm going to be the determiner of that.
You what? Sexual intimacy comes when you reaches all of the 6 points of it. It brings in sexual intimacy, and so then we don't have to worry about other women and other men because we're fulfilling all 7 principles of a successful marriage.
Yes.
When you're fulfilling all of the successful principles of a good marriage, then there's not a need for an outside Mr. or an outside Mrs.
Yes.
Because there's no space for it. So now we have time. Because there are 7 keys to a successful marriage. You have to have a healthy marriage. You have to have communication.
Yes.
I'm talking about communication is the key thing. Most people have been married and never talk about sex, never talk about what their fantasies, what turns them on, what they really like. And this on the show I was on a little earlier with the Bishop Luma. As wording was going on, I was writing something down that I didn't share. And I saw a pastor's wife that's been married for years. It was a pastor's wife. This is what I saw in the spirit. Been married for years, have had children, but still have not been passionately made love to. I saw it on the show. Their names were not brought up, but I could see that. And so these are things that we have to recap.
Yes.
We have to recap this stuff again and have intimacy, sexual intimacy brought back. So when you work on the successful keys of your marriage, at the end of that successful keys, you're talking about Christ, you're talking about edification, you're talking about complimenting, you're talking about willing to change, you're talking about maintaining good communication, you're talking about creating romance. Creating romance is one. Somebody will say, well, what are you talking about? And then we're getting ready for question. Take off your underwear, take off your panties tonight, and just put them in his pocket. So you're creating something. You're putting something on his mind. Take your bra and put it on over his eyes while he's asleep. When he wake up, he'll see the bra. Yeah, because it will be his mask. So you're creating a romantic thing. Take a banana and buy some
chocolate.
No, okay, chocolate. I was gonna say strawberry, and just put the banana on a plate and squirt the strawberry or the chocolate all over it and just leave it on the table like you don't know what you've done. There are always secret things that you can do, creativity,
yes,
to add creating romance to the bedroom. But one of the things I really like is putting the panties that I've worn during the day in his pocket. Then when he go to reach for a credit card or reach for some change, he pull out the panties and he said, oh my God, or the underwear. So those are creating moments that would never ever leave his mind.
Yes.
Drop some stuff all the way to the shower, or just taking a shower. But one thing that I really like, some things you can do is rent a hotel room while he's at work. Surprise him,
yes,
and just take him to the hotel. He's not expecting that. So that's creating romance. So, and then after you have created the romance, then the sexual intimacy is just going to happen. On the side of your tub, buy you a little tray from Ross and put you some little white or red rose petals around the little tray. Buy you a bottle of apple cider or a bottle of good wine and put a his and hers glass on the side of the tub. Just take a tub bath together.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Yes,
It's
is.
simple things that you can do to create
Create
romance. Simple things. While he's asleep, take one foot, chain him down, take the other one, chain him down. Then you are in total control.
When you gonna do that?
See, Evlis want me to whoop him. You remember that whip I had during the Valentine? See, Evlis wanted me to whip him. Okay.
Oh my God, that's
But
good.
that's what
good.
makes me creative. That's what makes me active. Because I
Amen.
keep an active mind going all the time. At this time, questions.
Hey, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh. Our first question tonight, do you think there's a such thing as spending too much time with your spouse?
No, Evans and I are together 7 days a week. We're together because I'm his friend.
Yes.
So if you and the spouse are friends, there can never be too much time. There can't be no overtime. And that's why the creating romance come from. Because after you spend so much time together, then you got to be creative while you're spending time together.
Yes.
While you're riding, just put your hand in his chest. Go up on his shirt real quick. Put your hand in his chest and touch his little nipples. I'm going to stop. Because I don't know who's watching this show, But I guarantee you really like what I'm saying. Because most males will not tell you that one of the most romantic things that you can do to them is touch their nipples. That's why we have real talk for real people with real situations. See, the sixth thing on my list is creating romance. So now find out what he likes. And most women do not know what he likes. You think because you putting on a naked J and walking around him naked. No, there are a lot of other things that they really like that you have never ever tried. Most men like their nipples touched. Think about how yours feel when they touch yours. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Okay, question.
Yes, I love you guys. You are absolutely off the chart, the radar, and all that good stuff. But I need some advice from you, the Love Doctor. I'm married, and I've been married for 12 years. I love my husband, but I just recently found out that he's committed adultery. And I have forgiven him, but I need to know, it's more easier for me to forgive him and not be with him, but I want to continue the relationship. So how do I forgive him and continue the relationship?
The moment that you forgive him, if you forgive him and choose to stay in that relationship, you cannot bring it back up again. It could never ever be another discussion. If this is not the first time that he has done it, you have a choice. But if you love your husband and is willing to stay in that marriage, once you forgive him, you have to leave it alone because you've forgiven him and you chose to stay in that marriage. Let me tell you this, you're a good one. You are a royal jewel. I want you to know this, lady. You have to be but you're 1 out of 99. Because if you're loving him, another thing that I ask is that let's find out why he's cheating or why did he cheat. Because you have to get to the root of the problem. Since I'm going to stay in this marriage, I'm not going to leave my husband. Tell me what can I do or what did I do wrong that caused you to mess up? Was it the children? Was I not everything that you needed? Do I need to go Victoria's Secrets? Do I need to find out Evlis Seymour's secrets? What do I do? And so if you got to get to the core of it, if you're going to stay in the marriage, especially when you're saying you're not going to leave him. So now find out what can we do. There we go with the fifth one, communication.
Yes.
So now yours marriage is at the state of communication. Okay, sir, we've been in this marriage 12 years. What caused you to slip? Tell me what can I change? Maybe he wants you to drink wine with him and you don't. Maybe he wants you to do a strip show for him and you won't. Maybe he wants you on the pole and you'll tell him you don't do that. Maybe he wants you to just touch his nipples and you don't do that. Maybe he wants you to get your nails pointed and rub his back. You don't do that. See, we have to do an examination to find out what am I lacking. Because if he has a mistress, no, if he has a woman on the side, I need to know what's turning you on. What is your freakness that caused you to jeopardize our marriage to go and do that? What is it? Do you need a freak? Tell me what all she did, I'll become that. Is it you want me to wear the long blonde hair, black hair down my back? I will become that. Maybe he just wants a threesome. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the freakiness side of him. And you've been married 12 years, but these are things that you did not ask him before you did your vows. That was what Evlis and I did before we married. We had a lot of communication.
Yes, we did.
There was a lot of things that Evlis liked that I told him I could not do it or become that because of who I am. But I still took the place of everything else that Evlis liked. So what I had to do, I had to become B-E-C-O-M-E. You have to be willing to become whatever it is that's needed to protect your bed.
Powerful, beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, but you have to. But remember, we talked. We would ride over to Fort Lauderdale, South Beach.
Yes.
We would just go get a room at random and just talk. I would lay up in his arms 3 and 4 o'clock during the day, and we would just talk. Then we would go get us a wine cooler, and we would just talk. And so he knew me before we came down the aisle, and I knew him.
Yes.
Before we came, I knew all of the stuff about him. That's why people wonder, how can we hang together now? We had these conversations.
Yes, we did.
I know what Evlis, but Evlis know what deal you like to some now.
Exactly.
That's why he still, see where his arms at? Show them where your arms at, baby.
Right
You
here.
better look. Somebody better look. I know.
Beautiful.
I know.
So, Dr. Seymour, going back to what you were saying about having a conversation, one of our viewers wanted to know, how do you have a hard conversation with your spouse when you want to, you're talking about something kind of touchy, but it's still something that needs to be, conversed about. So
Give
how
him,
do you
give
go
him a
about
little
that?
glass of wine. And just say, babe, it's something we really need to talk about, And somebody sung this song, I can't remember, Everything's Out in the Open. Johnny Taylor.
Johnny Taylor.
I believe that was Johnny
Yes,
Taylor.
it was.
And it said, in the song, he said, and we have nothing else to hide. See, those blues were really, really, really good inspirations. And now you've gotten saved as a pastor or an apostle or a bishop, and you don't go back. You need to go back in your sacred bedroom. Put something on. Betty Wright put out a song. What was that song, Elvis? You don't want no company over something. Since I can't. Remember, you played it, and I stopped you from playing it. I used to wouldn't let you play it no more. He laughing now. I had to stop, cool him down. But when everything's out in the open, that's communication. So when you don't talk, you don't know his most intimate thoughts.
Yes.
He don't know her most intimate thoughts. There are people together right now. There are men that goes to the strip club paying hundreds of dollars for women. But they bringing money home, taking good care of the wife. The wife driving all the cars she want to drive, got a house with a swimming pool. But he's taking the extra money, going to buy. Because the other woman's shaving. Think about it. It's the truth. See, now, you probably say, well, we ain't going to let her come on. We don't need to hear her in the house. But freak, you're just as freaky as I am talking. And God is talking to somebody even now.
Yes.
Because that's why you're listening to me, because you know that I'm really telling the truth. That man get tired of looking at that plain face. Put some makeup on. Take you a nice clean bath and order some of my soap. Order my cologne.
Yeah.
Order my oil. Change. If that man is cheating on you, change everything you have done. Now, this is what's horrible, is when you don't know your husband cheating and that Negro cheating. But he's making you think everything is okay. Then somebody say, everything's out in the open. No, see, let's do some self-examinations.
Change.
Let's change. That's I think, Evans, that's number 4.
Yes.
You have to be willing to change. Change your hairdo. Change your perfume. Because the perfume smells good to you. When was the last time he told you he liked how you smell? When was the last time he told you how soft your cheeks was? When was the last time he kissed you? In the mouth and not on the jaw. I don't talk about that jaw stuff. I'm talking about in the mouth.
Give me some sugar, baby. You make me want some of that sugar. Okay.
Okay. See, there you go. See, but this is really good.
Oh, yes,
This is
it
because
is.
it's healthy. Women thinking that they really, really have it all together. And you find out, wait, I could have done this a whole lot differently.
That's right.
That man like fishnets. He likes garters.
Yes. That's good.
Maybe you want to taste some honey. Maybe you want to taste some sugar. I don't know. I'm just throwing some nuggets out there.
Like the Seymour sugar scrub.
Oh, yeah. I got some honey sugar scrub. I haven't even put that one out there yet.
I know.
I got some honey sugar scrub. Honey sugar scrub. Let him scrub you. Shoot. Ain't nothing wrong with him scrubbing you. Get that dead, let him scrub your heel or your feet or scrub your toes, baby. You better stop. This came from the beach.
I know.
All of this that y'all are hearing came from down there in South Beach. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Okay, question.
Yes.
Oh, listen, my readers say they got distracted. I need to have a girls' night.
That's right.
I'm getting that date. I'm having a girl
Yes.
night because I have a tool chest for real. And I know you all don't believe it. I have an ottoman full of everything that women need to add to their bedroom. I have an ottoman. And some of y'all need this stuff in your bedroom with your husband or with your lover. Change it.
Girls now, that's gonna be good.
Ooh.
That's gonna be great.
Awesome. They said when it's the date. I'll talk about it next month. I'm gonna give y'all the date. And see, don't come here telling me what you know. You need to come learn what I know.
Amen.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Seymour, you mentioned that if a woman is interested in a man, it's okay for her to approach him and ask him out on a date. And I thank you for that. That's an awesome thing. But what kind of conversation would you have with him so that he knows that you're not an easy woman?
It's going to sound easy at any rate. It doesn't. There's no limits to this, because what you're going to do when you first go out, you're going to first. The conversation will start by like what you like, what you like to eat, where you like to go, your family. Do you have any children? Those are the common conversations that you will start with. And your children, your previous marriages. And then there were some things that when Evlis and I first got together that I liked and that I liked. But I thought I was refraining from certain conversations. You remember this?
Yes.
Because I wanted to challenge myself. And we talked about this from the beginning. I was challenging myself to know my own strength to go into a new relationship. Because I had been broken in another one. In the last one that I was in, it just wasn't what God had for me. But in the beginning, I was grieving, I was going through, so, I accepted that piece of nothing. And so when Elvis came along, I was challenged. So what I did was I governed myself, I governed my own mind. And I said, I don't want to do this with him yet, and I don't want to do this with him yet. And I'm not going to even conversate with him yet about this. I need to know him. So we would go out, we would shoot pool and laugh and talk about the pool. We would go to the beach.
That's right.
We would go eat breakfast. And finally one morning, he said something. He said, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh, hell no.
Light bulb went on.
No, you didn't say that. And when he said that, it was all over. Because he knew then, okay, everything I was trying to refrain from, you gonna tell me, okay, your side of it, so let's straighten this now, didn't it?
Yes, you did. But that's always a good sign. That's always a good sign to add to that, Dr. Seymour, when there's a challenge. When you're having a conversation and then the person is challenging you or you're challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Or, because the person don't know that, okay, you're being a challenge, and vice versa, and you always know that, okay, this is going somewhere. Because Dr. Seymour challenged me. She keep challenging, and I have to keep on raising the bar and raising my game because she keep on challenging me. So even though you do the approach, do not be scared to be a challenge. And if the person is also challenging you, don't know you can say, okay, this is going somewhere because the challenge is in there. If there's not a challenge, then more than likely it's not going to work. It's going to be a next female or a next
Well,
male.
the challenge, what happens, Elvis, see the one of the questions we had got, 12 years in marriage, and now he's committing adultery. How long has he been committing adultery? Because there was no challenge in the beginning. You have to be able to challenge each other and not be afraid of losing each other. You have to be able to challenge each other and not being afraid.
Well, that's a
of
ministry
losing.
out by itself. Not being afraid to lose.
Because a lot of people are having all this stuff in their heart, in their mind, and they're afraid to challenge.
Yes.
And it causes you later.
It costs a lot.
I tell that to first ladies, and I know we're fixing ready to go, but I tell that to first ladies, before you come down now to a man of God, challenge him. Because you know that if he's single and pastoring in that church, there are other women that's sitting on that front row or that second row. You need to challenge him before you say I do. Now you can take that by however you want to take that, but this is the gospel.
Amen.
It's the
Question.
gospel. Question. One last question.
Last question for tonight. Do you have any ways that you could avoid conflicts with your spouse? Sometimes you have good days and you have bad days, and you have days when you they say sometimes the first couple of months are the hardest, or, so.
And
what would you-
my marriage, my first couple of months was the best. We became friends.
Really?
That's all of that was like during our processing of courting days, we became friends. And then our first year, I think our first couple of years, we were just really, really still. I'm talking about like boyfriend and girlfriend. And I know people find that hard to believe. We would get in the Maserati and just go,
Oh my God.
we were really, really friends in our first couple of years. And so I just think it was that challenge. I think it was that challenge. And I'm an open person, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. And he would respond, and then when he was shut down, I would not allow that because I'm a very open person. We have to talk. There we go again with number 5, maintaining good communication.
That's what I'm
And when you shut down, he shut down. Or the shutdown is, I don't want to talk. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. That is a generational curse.
Yes.
And so you was never groomed to become. And so since you have not become, that's why you shut down. Talk about it. Get it out. And leave it there.
That's one of the show we're gonna speak about generational curses, 'cause that is powerful. But you have to have a pastor that with revelation to you to relay that to you. But just to add to that, challenge is never good to avoid the challenge, because it's gonna come to a boil at some point or another. So don't try to avoid it. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Because that's how you're going to know the person. The person going to know you, and you're going to know the person. So don't run from the challenge. Don't run from, okay, you don't want him upset. No, we are in this, so let's deal with it. So don't run from it. So I think it's not a bad thing to deal with the challenge, so you can understand each other a lot more.
I like that.
Because conflict make you understand each other. You know where a person is coming from, and they know where you're coming from.
Deal with it.
But when you
Deal with
avoid it, you all ain't being real.
it. There you go.
When
There
it's
you
being
go.
avoided, you all ain't being real.
And before we get ready to go off tonight, thank God for all of the technicians and the staff that works for me so faithful. And I am sometimes so difficult. But don't forget we have the soap and the oil.
Yes.
And I have sold so much.
Oh my God.
But I don't want to say sold, but I have been a blessing
Yes.
to so many women and men in marriages. And I did not know when God gave me this that it would go like this, the soap and the oil. And I what I do, I want to keep it in the sample that I have it in,
Yes.
so that the price don't go up.
The
And you use it,
donation.
yeah. But I like the price that the donation is, the $21. They have it out there on my site now. They have it out there on the site.
Yes.
The soap and the oil, honeydew soap and the oil. I sit up on the thing. And we ask for a love offering or a donation of $21. It will really, really help you. And you
Yes.
don't want to start it and stop. That oil is waiting on you. And,
Yes.
the soap is good. I've had nothing but good results.
Yes.
And I know you find it hard to believe. This is something God really gave us, and it has brought spontaneous results. The men, the women, marriages, relationships. My daughter told me, Mama, I can't use it anymore. I'm saying, and I think she got a little young, but I better leave that. But I'm telling you, it's something about this soap. It's called honeydew soap and the honeydew oil. Inbox me. I don't know if you can see the number, 833-372-7911. 833-372-7911. Feel free to call us. They're waiting to answer your call. Feel free to inbox us. We try to answer all of the inboxes. We have a Cash App again out there. We don't know how long they'll leave that one up. But we just found out today we're having problems with the new one. So don't try to Cash App me right now. Just wait. But we do have one that we think is less, and that's MSDEBANN. MSDEBANN. Miss Deban. Miss Deban. Capital MS, capital DEBANN. The band. Miss the band. So if you would like to order, because it's going so quickly, I'm saying weekly. And those of you that, if you haven't, but I thank God for those of you that have received your oil now, and you've been letting me know that you've gotten it. And sorry for the delay, but I've been really trying to get it out there.
Yes.
You know, it's a job. I don't have a factory. This is just something God gave me that I'm doing at home. So, but I you know, if you like some, inbox me. We'll get it to you. If you inbox me tonight, you will have it by Thursday or Friday. But if you inbox me tomorrow, then you'll have it Friday or Saturday. So I want you to know though, but I don't take nobody for granted that's sending their love offering of $21 for the soap and the oil.
Dr. Seymour, one more thing about the soap and the oil. When you're in problem, if somebody breaking your home, if something is going on with you, somebody breaking your car, if somebody's messing with you, you call 911. Now, if your relationship is in any problem, if you just want to enhance the relationship, if you're looking for a new relationship, if you realize the number at the end of this number is 911.
Wow.
This is the 911 answer to all of your relationship questions, and I'm telling you, everybody that's listening to me under the sound of my voice, you need to get this soap and oil, because it will make a difference. It will change your life. It change your perspective. It is the 911 of relationship. If you're single, you know you need it.
Don't do it one time though and say, you know, you've got to stay consistent at what you're doing. You've got to stay consistent and believe. You've got to believe that your angelic angel is ready to go to work for you. Bathe and keep
declaring
and decreeing.
And
It's going to happen. He's coming or she's coming. If there won't be any more questions, I am excited tonight. Order your oil, order your soap, get your package now. We're so excited. I'm so honored to come into your home by way of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I pray that we've been an inspiration to you. And call us, feel free to call us, feel free to inbox us, the Queen of Love and the gentleman, my husband, Elder Evlis Seymour. We have real talk
for real people with real situations.
We love you all. Next Monday.